Hey everybody, it's Ted Bogert. We are back with one of my favorite series on the planet with the one and only co-host with the mostest, Donna Morton Morgan. It is Transformation Talk. We talk all about people who have transformed their lives, are transforming other lives, and the process of that. Sometimes that's a painful journey, and oftentimes it's a miraculous journey. And so we just love sharing those kinds of stories and spotlighting human beings who have been through the crazy world, the human condition, and are thriving and doing wonderful things. And today we have an amazing guest. Shaquansia Love is on the show with us. She's going to talk about her journey with sickle cell. And I'm fascinated. And I think I read your bio, and I think what you do and what you've accomplished is amazing. And the amount of information that you can share with us on a is it a disease? Is it a condition? All of the information you can provide, I think, will be great for our audience to be educated. But before we get into your story, I have to talk to my co-hostess again with the most, it's Donna Morton Morgan with Inner Vibes Consulting. Hi, Donna. What's up?
Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. We've had an amazing weekend and sunny, beautiful Florida, where 1 hour it could be a thunderstorm and the next hour it's bliss.
It's so true. It's so true. Well, tell them about you, Donna, and then I would love for you to introduce Shaquansia.
Sure. So welcome back, everyone. My name is Donna Morton Morgan, and I am a real estate broker, Florida Summer Homes Realty, president of Caribbean American Diaspora Alliance, president of Women of Culture Incorporated, spiritual development coach at Inner Vibes Consulting, where we go into the inner, because, the inner man makes up the outer man. The inner experiences contribute to the outer experiences in a lot of ways. So it's important for us to talk about that. I just want to welcome Shaquansia, and I am in a lot of worlds. So I get to meet a lot of different people, and sickle cell has been one area that we haven't really heard a lot about. And we're actually in September on another show that I have with Caribbean Diaspora Vibes. We go deeper into what is sickle cell and how the traits and how two separate people can meet up and have kids with sickle cell. It's but we'll be keeping you in touch, up to date with that. So transformation talk is really, how are you transforming your life? Are you going through, or have you gone through addiction, something, health, mental, weight loss, something? How did you get over it? How can you use your story to then be a blessing in someone else's lives? Because sometimes we think we're going through things alone, and we don't realize that other people are going through similar experiences. And sometimes just hearing someone's story, how they did it, how they kept up the faith, what did they do? It can help that one person. And that's what this show is all about. So today we want to welcome Shaquansia, and we're going to call her Kwanzaa for short.
Yeah.
And, Kwanzaa is a sickle cell, and sickle cell is something that you don't get over. It's a life journey. But we will hear from her of how she is instrumental daily in her life, and how she contributes to others through her struggles. Welcome, Kwanzaa.
Thank you for having me. It's a blessing to be on here. Anytime I get to share my story, it is very, very exciting, because that's my life's journey to empower people with the disease that I have. So yes. Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
We're excited. We haven't talked about sickle cell on the show. And I think it's a misunderstood disease. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there, or not enough information out there. So give us a little bit, though, on your background and your journey, Kwanzaa. Tell us a little bit about you personally, and kind of then bring us up to speed as far as when you discovered you had sickle cell and kind of what that journey has been like.
Well, hello again. My name is Shaquansia Love. I'm 37 years old. I have sickle cell SS. There are different types of sickle cell. SS is actually the version that's considered the worst version of it. I was diagnosed at the age of 4 years old. My aunt was actually the one who got me diagnosed. My mother at the time didn't have me. And it was crazy because my aunt said she was taking me back and forth to the hospital for about a year, and they kept telling her there was nothing wrong with me. She said I was having high fevers. I kept having high fevers, and she said the back of my lower, like in my spine area down into my tailbone, was hurting to the point I could not sit. I would have to lay down on my side or lay on my stomach. So they finally did the test because, of course, back in the 80s, the test was not a prominent test that you get, whereas today you can get it tested in a newborn screen. So when we got diagnosed, I'm the only one, well, not anymore. My sister has 2 kids with sickle cell, but I was the only one in my family for years with the disease. Very misunderstood, caused issues in my family. Because I have other siblings who don't have it. So a couple family members carry the trait. So as Ms. Donna stated earlier, 2 people have to have the trait. And then, they have a baby, they conceive a child. And depending on where it falls in the Punnett square and what type that you have, you can have a child with the trait, or you can have the child with the disease, or the child with nothing at all. Unfortunately, the higher the hemoglobin level in the trait is, the more chances of you having a child with sickle cell. So all my life been fighting pneumonia, been on so many medications, and had over 150 blood transfusions. What else? I've had over 300-400 hospital visits. To God be the glory. I have not been in a hospital in almost 3 years come February.
Hallelujah.
So yes. So I just try to, especially with me having my own children, who none of my kids have the disease. I made it my business to make sure whoever I be with, and my husband, of course, that I have kids with it. He didn't even know what sickle cell was when I got with him. So make sure they don't have the trait or the disease, so that I don't pass this quote unquote terminal illness, as they like to call it, to my children. So my children, however, do have the trait because of the type of gene that I carry is so strong that I don't care how many kids I have, they all will come out with the trait. So it's just been something, just even battling depression with sickle cell and being told over and over, you're not going to live past 4. You're not going to live past 13. You're not going to live past 19. You're not going to live past 25. You're not going to live past 30. And I'm here sitting before y'all because of God at the age of 37 years old. So all I could tell people is know your status. Even with my sister, it was shocking because it was like you had it right in your face. So you should know to get, the procedure to get them tested. So both of my nephews actually have sickle cell disease, but they have beta thalassemia. Some of the symptoms for myself is very, very bad pain, y'all. I didn't have kids. I didn't have toothache. Nothing could compare to this pain that I endure. I have pain every day. The only time the pain gets to the point where I need to be hospitalized, I have to have some kind of infection, I have to be super stressed out, or something to trigger it. So, of course, I try to do preventive measures so I don't end up in the hospital. But it's a horrible disease. It could cause you to have strokes, heart attacks, blood clots. it's horrific. I actually had my hip worked on at the age of 33. We opted out to not do the whole hip replacement yet. So I had a procedure done called hip core decompression surgery, which basically all the dead bone that was in my hip was removed, put some screws and stuff in to keep it intact. But according to science, I should be able, by the time I'm 60, I should have had double shoulder replacements, hip replacements, and knee replacements, because it also kills your bone off.
So is it an autoimmune? Does it attack the whole body? Can you explain a little bit about what it is? Because I didn't realize it was, again, that's why these shows are fantastic. I didn't realize that it was so big, far reaching for your body and your life expectancy and all of that.
Right. They don't call it autoimmune. They just say it's a hereditary blood disorder. They call it a rare blood disorder. And up until, I want to say, the 90s, it was considered a Black disease. Well, today there are people that are any race with this illness. It's not just a Black disease. It's just something that's genetically passed when two people are not aware that they carry the trait. That's why it's so important to know your status, so that you're not, because it could be prevented, but it's knowing your status so that you're not passing this on. So, yes, ma'am.
You mentioned, and that's so important, you mentioned traits and then disease. So you can have the sickle cell traits and you can have the sickle cell disease.
Yes. So my mother has the trait. My father, rest his soul, has the trait. My aunt has the trait. And from my understanding, the trait came from my granddaddy's side. So my mom had me when she was 17 and my dad was 21. And they were not aware that they had the trait. So when I was born, and me getting sick, even as a baby, my aunt said she could remember I would have these high fevers of like 105. And once they get 105, 106, they start killing off your brain cells. Mm-hmm. So my aunt said it was so scary because she was like, you would literally be holding me in this chocolate as I am. I would be turning red because the fevers would be so high and be so dehydrated. And that's another symptom that could cause a pain episode, is dehydration. So I have to make sure I'm properly hydrated. I have to make sure I stay away from sick people, which obviously I'm in a field where I deal with people. So I have to, do precautions to make sure that I don't pick up any sickness, even being around my own children, and just stress. And we all stress in life, right? Yeah, so I have to minimize my stress the best that I can so I don't have a flare up, as I like to call it, because my hospitalization can be anywhere from a couple days to months. It all depends on when the crisis want to die down. And when we have these episodes, as I like to call them, pain crisis, we have to get the strongest IV pain medication in the hospital. And I don't even want to get into the mess that come with that. Be a lot of discrimination with that. So IV pain medication, fluids, blood transfusions, because obviously if our hemoglobin, which is the oxygen that is carried in your red blood cell, so basically my blood cells are like a half a moon, like a crescent shape, and they get trapped in certain joints, in certain blood tissues, because it also causes heart failure, kidney failure, liver failure. It causes all that. The more the body is depleted of oxygen, wherever area is depleted of oxygen, could cause a pain episode and death. Bone death, tissue death, or whatever. Looking at me, you wouldn't guess in a million years my body is raging the way that it is. But every day it's raging. So I've been stuck so many times with needles, due to hospitalizations. I had to get a port, and it's right here in my chest. And when I go to the doctor, they basically stick the little needle in, and that's how I get my fluids, how I get my blood. And what's funny, I can no longer get as much blood as I was getting because it'll eventually cause my kidneys to fail because I've had over 150 blood transfusions. So now I have too much iron in my body. Now, when I do testing, it looks like my iron is too low because of sickle cell disease, but because so many blood transfusions, I officially have too much iron. So I'm on a medication to reduce the iron in my body so it will not cause my kidneys to fail. So
How
yeah.
do you stay? What's your secret to staying positive? What's your because I'm listening to you and I'm thinking I am so overwhelmed.
Right.
So it's got to be so mentally and physically, obviously, but spiritually,
Yes,
socially taxing on you. What do you do to deal with that on a daily basis, to overcome, to come on a show like this and educate and want other people to know about it? What is it that you do for you in order to get through that day and in order to deal with it?
Can I be honest with y'all?
Please.
I have to pray. I have to pray and tell myself life is worth living. That this pain is not unto death. I hear what science say, but I know what God told me. And there's so many times that I was supposed to be 6 feet under, but God is showing otherwise. I still have purpose. And me knowing I have purpose with pain gives me the push to keep going. So as long as I'm talking to God, as long as I play positive affirmations, play godly music, I get in my word when I get a chance, you know, because I have a special needs son. So it's just, I try to balance myself mentally. I always speak positive things on myself because I believe there's life in the death in the tongue. So if I'm constantly saying I'm sick, I'm going to be sick.
Right.
But if I tell myself, Shaquansia, get up, do what you got to do. You're healthy. Health is wealth. Eat right. Take care of yourself. Love on yourself. Do what you need to do to maintain. Then you can have a long life. And you can drop dead from a heart attack right now. But I had to make up my mind, what is the purpose behind all this pain that I deal with? And God said, because it's greater than you. This pain is greater than you. It's to help and inspire others and to show others, in spite of what come against you, you could do whatever you put your heart and mind to. I was told I wasn't going to finish school. I have a AS degree in health service management, and I'm a licensed esthetician in the state of Florida. Amazing. I was taught I was never going to have kids. I have 3 girls and 1 boy. My son almost took me out of here. I'm going to be honest with y'all. But to God be the glory, we're still here. It's so many things that I was known as a sick girl, the girl that was going to die eventually. Right. Some people even say they're surprised I'm still here and so positive because I was known in high school. Yeah, I was taking AP classes and smart classes, but everybody knew when I went there, oh, she in the hospital. I was known as a girl I was always in the hospital. I had to do my junior year from an amplifier, a speaker, because I had pneumonia 25 times, where I had to have a lung specialist come to my house to restore my lungs. I was known as a sick girl that was not going to live long because I'm always sick. Oh, she can't hang out because she's always sick. So I had to watch what I allow people to speak over me, as well as what I received in my spirit and spoke over myself. Right. And when I made up in my mind, I want to live and not just exist, life got better for me. When I made up in my mind, I wasn't going to see and just take medicine and waddle in sickness, things got better for me. Ooh. So when I tell y'all God is amazing, he's so amazing. God is amazing. And if you just trust and have faith, I get people have their religions, but I know by experience. I'm talking about they told my dad and my husband, choose between me or the baby. That's how bad it got with my second child. I was on my way out of here in ICU. Coma, wasn't speaking to nobody. Wow. And when I tell you God brought me and my now sassy 9-year-old that's taller than me through that, she is a trip. So it's just, I tell people, for me, God is real. It's the minute I would pray, I would talk, and I would make up my mind to get up from that dark place, things got better for me. I refuse to let it overtake me. It'll just have to be a thorn in my side and go with me wherever I go. But it can't stop me. I won't let it stop me. Until God shuts my eyes, I will forever advocate, tell people, anybody with any invisible illness, because I'm not the only one struggling. There are so many other invisible illnesses out there where people look good like this every day, but raging on the inside. That you can live, you can survive. You have to choose you and choose to survive. So yes, guys.
Your
It's all God.
testimony, oh my God, it's so amazing. But look at what you're saying. You chose life. You
I did.
chose to fight, because we, easily you could have gone the other route,
And gave up.
and just, and especially in the last couple of years, we, this reminds me, we need to check on people. We see
That's it.
people,
Say
but we
that.
don't really physically see them or hear their voice. We text people. We see people on social media with a picture and a smile, but we don't pick up the phone anymore to call and to hear the pain, the frustration, things like that behind individuals, because we've gone, our friendships are virtual now. Right. So that's something that, on a whole nother note, that it reminded me we need to do. But Kwanzaa, I'm just thinking, if you just had the trait and not the disease, then, oh my God, if for someone that has a disease, that's...
Now get this.
Yeah.
There have been studies where people run in college. Like, I don't know if y'all heard the stories where people have dropped dead. So apparently now studies are showing that the trait, if you're overexerted, you can drop dead. My best friend, she's in the military. She's about to retire. She has the trait. They told her if her trait go up another percentage, they have to make her retire because of PT, because they're afraid that she's going to drop dead. And this is off the trait. They're still studying that the trait can even present symptoms. It's not as extreme as sickle cell, but now they're seeing the trait can even present symptoms and are causing, like, college athletes, people that are overexerting their body, to drop dead. There have been, I know for a fact, 6 athletes that have dropped dead from the trait. So that's why it's important to know your status, to know if you're a carrier. And it's not even a race thing. Anyone can have it. For years, I was taught it's a Black disease. It was a Black disease. So when I got on Facebook, that's why I say Facebook, social media period, has its perks and its cons, And when I got on here and got in these sickle cell groups and I was seeing other races with it, I was like, wow.
I honestly thought, until you told me, that it was primarily a Black minority disease.
Yeah.
I honestly have learned, this is the quietest I've been. I've learned so much.
Right.
And now all I want to do is go research, because anytime when you're suffering in silence, and you're right, 100% right. My wife has rheumatoid arthritis. It's nothing that presents, right? You don't know, but your whole body's on fire inside. You're in pain, and there's so many different conditions and diseases. And I am fascinated and inspired and humbled by your journey.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So as we wrap up, I just do want to ask you, because your Facebook handle is Angelic Faces Artistry. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I'm sorry, y'all. It's Angelic Faces Makeup Artistry.
Well, I will change that in the body.
It's okay. It's okay. I do makeup. I started doing makeup, and it's so weird because I was never one to like makeup. I fell into this by accident. I'm all about making women feel good, look good, but most importantly, feel good in here. Right. So when I did my niece-in-law and she started crying because she loved her makeup, I was like, wow, God gave me a gift to help other women, to make them feel good. Wow. So I literally, y'all, had my degree just sitting, was trying to figure out what to do, and boom, it fell in my lap. And because I was planning on working in the medical office, something low impact, so I wouldn't get sick. And then now I'm in such a busy booked area, and I give God the glory for it because He sustains me. So I do facials, lashes, makeup, you name it, everything beautiful to make a woman feel good. I don't do hair, as I was telling Ms. Donna earlier. I was like, that is not my ministry, and I know that, and I'm okay with that. So anything involving the body, massaging, makeuping and all that, I love doing it. And I've been doing it. I actually just celebrated 5 years of having my grand opening for my business 2 days ago. So to see the support from everybody, and I know it just blows people's mind that God will use the ones that I feel that are forgotten or broken or so sick they can't do anything but it's the us that suffer that shows that God is real. So, so I've been doing it for years. Say it again.
Angelic Faces
makeup artistry. Yes, and it's on Facebook and on Instagram. It's Angelic Faces by Miss Love. So I think I sent it all to Donna in a thing. If y'all need to follow
the crazy guy.
It's okay.
All right, so we know how to reach Kwanzaa. How do we reach you, Miss Donna? Go ahead.
I was telling Kwanzaa earlier that my nonprofit Women of Culture Inc., we are supporting women that are coming out of jail. And her work, her ministry, when we do a dedicated resource, we're actually having a resource for a second chance resource fair coming up September 16th. But something like that, and being able to give that woman that's coming out of jail a makeover,
right,
like that, someone that's sick, someone that's dealing with that hidden pain. My God, yeah, you're definitely you're it's so crazy how our pain can become our purpose. It's
that's it.
That's right. Amen to that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right,
yeah.
Donna, how do we get you? How do we reach you? I just I'm like lost in thought about your testimony today. I have to tell you, just really, really going to pray on that.
God,
the blood, the over 100 blood transfusions.
Yes, over. Y'all, I done lost count with the hospital stays. Sometimes I'll be in the hospital 10 to 12 times a month, hooked up to a machine. It's just my mind boggles how sick I was just 3 years ago, trying to do makeup, trying to kill myself to work. And I had to learn balance. God got on me about balancing and choosing me, because I got so wanting to be accepted because I was so sick. So I would literally be, I don't want to miss out on this client, so I'm going to push myself. And God said, no, ma'am, slow down. Choose you. Those that belong to you will come.
That's right.
So I had it's a blessing, and I'd be sick. I still go to the doctor once a month, still get what I need once a month. I haven't had a blood transfusion in 3 years because we found out that your average, I think, is like 150 for your iron. Mine is in the 2000s.
Ooh.
So it's literally going to start eating my kidneys out. And then I have to be on dialysis, and I don't need all that. I got enough going on in my life. I don't need all that. So, yeah.
You definitely have enough going on in your life.
Right.
All right. You're a blessing, Kwanzaa. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So are you guys. So are you.
Thank you for bringing these inspirational, motivational, transformative human beings that just literally every week my heart is filled. I appreciate you. You can find Donna at Inner Vibes Consulting on Facebook and pretty much everywhere. We're going to keep an eye out for that September 16th event. Donna, make sure in the comments you put that link below. But God bless you both. Thank you for coming on the show and sharing your testimony. What a beautiful testimony. And that's what this show, Transformation Talk, is all about. Come back anytime. Maybe we'll have you back next month too. We've got this is
call me. I'm coming. I'm one phone call away. Call me. Whatever you need. As long as the schedule available, I'm coming. Whatever y'all need, I will be there. I'm serious. I'm so serious.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Donna. Thank you all. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you guys back here on Transformation Talk next week. Bye, everybody.